Hello world, the Autistic Christian here, and today I wanted to chime in on a TikTok live with my good brother Dion, aka Bible Guy. I didn't stay too long to hear everything, but I did happen to join in on a juicy topic regarding Isaiah 42. In this video, I wanted to address central and Christians are pagans arguments against Jesus not being the one being prophesied about in Isaiah 42. But before we get into the debate, let's first see what Isaiah 42 has to say. This is the word of God. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the nations. He will not cry aloud or lift up his voice, or make it heard in the street. A bruised reed he will not break, and a faintly burning wick he will not quench. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not grow faint or be discouraged till he has established justice in the earth. And the coastlands wait for his law. Thus says God the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread out the earth and what comes from it, who gives breath to the people on it, and spirit to those who walk in it. I am the Lord. I have called you in righteousness. I will take you by the hand and keep you. I will give you as a covenant for the people, a light for the nations, to open the eyes that are blind, to bring out the prisoners from the dungeon, from the prison those who sit in darkness. I am the Lord, that is my name, my glory I give to no other, nor my praise to carved idols. Behold, the former things have come to pass, and new things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Isaiah 42, 1 through 9. Now, I know I have a bias because I know who my Jesus is, but anyone that's actually read the Gospels can see that was clearly Jesus. But let's see what our Muslim brothers have to say.
And those who sit in darkness out of the prison house, okay? To open blind eyes, okay? If we read verse 19, you'll see more clearly that the word blind is used as an idiom first. That's point number one. Meaning that he will show people the things that they did not know and will show people how to comprehend God and his message, okay? Prison is used as an idiom as well. If a spirit doesn't know God and doesn't obey him, then that spirit is in prison of Satan, and that person is a prisoner of Satan. By accepting the oneness of God and by obeying him, the spirit of a person will be free, and this makes that person free from prison of Satan. And in verse 8, God clearly states that he meant, verse 8 says, I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Okay, I'm about to land a plane. From verses 7 and 8, you can see that God is not talking about Jesus, talking about Muhammad, because Jesus came to the Israelites and they were not worshiping idols. The Israelites that Jesus came to did not worship idols and were not worshiping them. But when Muhammad came, during the days of Jahiliyyah, during the period of ignorance of the Arabs, he destroyed the idols. And if you read verse 17, it will be understood clearly. Verse number 9, this is the last point I'll make. Behold, the former things come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. As you read in verse 4 and the explanation of it, the person God is talking about will come with the new law, and this person cannot be Jesus because of the reasons we talked about earlier. Anyways, this person is nobody but the Prophet Muhammad. So can you please address the Israelites and graven images and idols?
Yes, I certainly would love to educate you on this matter, Central. You say the Jews didn't worship idols. Why do you think God called out the Israelites for playing the harlot?
Okay, and we have this bond between us, and nobody can come between that bond.
I thought you wanted to fool around with Eric's sister.
Yeah, her, but that's it. What's your point?
My point is, you are the whore.
Don't you know what that means? They did worship idols and graven images. I'll just shoot 3 from the hip.
Say hello to my little friend!
1. The golden calf in the wilderness. When the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people gathered themselves together to Aaron and said to him, Up, make us gods who shall go before us. As for this, Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. So Aaron said to them, Take off the rings of gold that are in the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people took off the rings of gold that were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand and fashioned it with a graving tool and made a golden calf. And they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." Exodus 32, 1 through 4. 2. Worshipping the Queen of Heaven. The children gather wood, the fathers kindle fire, and the women knead dough to make cakes for the Queen of Heaven. And they pour out drink offerings to other gods to provoke me to anger. Jeremiah 7:18. Number 3. Sacrificing their children to Marduk. For they have committed adultery, and blood is on their hands. With their idols they have committed adultery, and they have even offered up to them for food the children whom they had borne to me. Moreover, this they have done to me. They have defiled my sanctuary on the same day and profaned my Sabbaths. For when they had slaughtered their children in sacrifice to their idols, on the same day they came into my sanctuary to profane it. And behold, this is what they did in my house. Ezekiel 23, 37 through 39. So, needless to say, Central, your plane crashed and burned, and your argument has neatly been folded.
You are not!
Oh, and lastly, how in the hell can you even think this passage is talking about Momo? A bruised reed he will not break. Momo was a cradle-robbing, caravan-marauding murderer. He broke plenty reeds, if you know what I mean. Next!
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if he told the truth.